Boom, boom, boom. Let's go into it. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the delay. Last night, banging migraine headache. You know when you want to go and do these things, something just crops up. Got a banging headache. I'm gonna bang out the live and supplement it, get it out to you all, you guys. But I just want to crack on with it. Sorry, you guys, my head's a bit banged, but I thought, you know what, I've got to try to stick to these commitments. I've got to try to do it. So forget all the long thing. Today, we're going to talk loans. Yes, loans. We're going to teach, next generation boys about teaching you guys about the next generation. So we're going to delve into a bit about loans. And next week as well, I'm going to talk about transfer. So I'm going to break down a transfer. Today, I'm going to break down loans. Why am I talking about loans? We're going to get into it, delve straight into it. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe. Most important, follow us on Twitter. You know we're there. We're going to show straight into it. Let's talk loans. Yes, my people. Yes, my people. We are back. It's the Next Generation Baller Show. It's your boy LP Culture. Yes, I'm here today. I'm here to talk about loans. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the situation of a loan. What is a loan? What consists of a loan? And the changes. Because what a lot of people don't know, like I see a lot of days now on Twitter, a lot of people don't really understand what it is in a general football sense of what's going on, because you know how football's so media orientated nowadays. It's very important that we keep up to date with things, because we hear a lot of stories, hear a lot of things, and obviously with the loan thing, there's been a lot of changes. I'm going to dive straight into it. There's been a lot of changes. So I want to break that down, get into it for you guys. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm literally just here. And obviously last week I noticed, I was watching my video back, I was stuttering up going into these things. Like I said, my guys, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just here trying to do a thing, give the information to the people, and let you guys know what's going on. So today we're just going to break down a loan situation. Apologize for any discrepancies. Let you guys know any comments, anything you guys want me to do to improve, give you guys the best content. I will do that. So and let you guys know what's going on here. And also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Like I said, I'm on the spaces, I'm there getting involved in conversations, so it'll be good to have you guys there also as well, for you guys to come and have your say. All right, cool. So let's just get straight into it. I don't know what's going on here, sorry about this, guys. It's literally gonna get all right, cool, we're here, we got it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you guys the new rules, what's happening in the football game. There's a lot of changes, so we're gonna speak about the loan systems. Very interesting one, this topic, I feel. And it's going to have a big say in regards to what a lot of clubs are going to be doing this season. So just pop it up here for you guys. Give me a sec. So yes, boom, 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 boom. So right now, yes, I'm going to share. Yes, we don't worry about that. We are sharing. So right now, you guys, as you can see up on here, what we've got. So as you can see here, so the new rules come into place. So what are the new rules? So the new loan system. So FIFA's new rules cap the total number of players a club can loan out a season to 6, something that has currently been uncapped. So before, clubs have been able to loan out as much players as you want. This season, now they're going to try and resort it down to 6. It's been a new implementation that they're putting in. Sorry as well, guys. The reason why I pull it up as well, because my reading is not the best as well. If I do start stuff like that, do stuff with dyslexia, so I do put information up for you guys to read. So apologies for if I do stutter or anything going forward. It's there for you guys to read. However, these changes will include gradually, so they won't come into play straight away. They will start in the 2022 season 23. And gradually they'll all be put into them by then. The number of players a club can loan out will be capped to 8 for this season. So going into this season, players can actually clubs can actually do 8, loan out 8 players instead of 6. But moving on to the 24-25 season, they'll break it down to 8. So it's going to go to 6, 7, and 8. So it will go down and eventually go down to 8. So additionally, the clubs will be allowed to loan players. Clubs will only be allowed to loan 3 players from one club. So you only be allowed to take 3 players on loan from one specific club for the season. The second major change in the structure of loan deals is all players are required to last 2 transfer windows at least and cannot extend beyond a year. Each move must be accompanied with a written document detailing the duration of the loan and the financial necessities. So what do you mean by this? So a lot of what you see recently is a lot of 2-year loans. You might see a club that I will dive into this a bit more. You might see a lot of the clubs that might buy a young player, loan him back out to a club for a 2 year extended period. You also might see a player who's struggling in a club, maybe on big wages, who a club want to off-scene or move on, but they struggle to do that. So they use a 2 year loan system, which will enable both parties to be happy and satisfied moving forward in regards to that. So we've got then the breakings of that. So we're going to, again, I'll break it down for you guys. So basically, this is the new rules is that the loan clubs will only allow to be loaning out 8 players. This season, the implementation will be they'll only be allowed at 6 players. This season it will be 8, next season it will be 7, and the season after it will result down to 6. So how do the new rules change things? First major change, capping the total number of player loans is expected to affect the big clubs frequently by assessed of talent who have been accused of talent hogging, giving them the vast financial resources. Big European clubs often hoard young talent, send them out on loan, and capitalize on the gains if they're loaned out and performed well. So I'm just going to break down a little note right to you. Actually, I'll read it a bit on and I'll break it down. So some notable ones include the likes of Real Madrid, Atletico, Chelsea, each of whom have more than 20 players out on loan last season. Serie A side, Atlanta, meanwhile, had more than 60 players out on loan. 60 players, that's a mad thing. So I'm going to break this down a bit here to you. Obviously, I'm more used to the English market. Most of you guys in the audience probably going to understand the English way of things. So when I break down this, me and my own perception of how this is worked, and we can all do our own research on how these things work. And my ideas of how this is the reasoning of why this rule has been put in place is simply the fact. So if you look back to it, if you look at Chelsea's current former regime, we should say, under Roman Abramovich, we see a lot of young players. They had many young players doing really well, loaned out at many different other clubs. Even till now, I think Chelsea have out to 20 players at loan in one season. Some would ask, there were big stories, these academy players doing so well, can they get into the first team? We had the likes of Tammy Abraham trying to break through. We had, in that set, we had players like Josh McEachran, you had Tamore, all these top players in the Chelsea setup, but none of them seem to make it into the Chelsea first team. You always see the Chelsea first team trying to buy the best players and ultimately win the best prizes immediately. And someone wonder, why is this? Why does this not happen? Why are they not letting the young players get through? Why are they not giving them a chance? And a lot of people don't understand the mechanism of it. And me personally, I think I understand a bit too, and I'm going to give you guys the information. If we break it down and you look at Chelsea as a club in entirety, and you got a club like Manchester United in entirety, I'm comparing them to, because this is how the financial fair plays and the workings of a football club interlink into one. So when you look at a club like Manchester United, who make on average, say, £607 million a year as a club, we make that as a club. Profit-wise, you may be talking about £300-400 million. This is what club is able to. We'll spend 300 million on the transfer market, which unrealistically we won't due to the debts that we got. But if we was to pay that, we'll be happily fit in the financial fair play market. When it comes to other clubs like Chelsea, who don't make as much money when it comes to Manchester United, making over the turn of a year, are not able to spend the big money that they're able to spend in the transfer window. So some ask, so how do Chelsea get these big signings? How are they able to recruit and get the best players around the world? It's simply because they match their financial fair play by supplementing players that have a youth system. So if you think about it, if you've got like, say, 30-40 players in your youth system, all of a decent standard, good talented players, not able to make it at top elite in your team to win prizes consistently here and now, how many clubs are there across the world that will be interested in talents and will purchase them for a price? And this is simply what you get for Chelsea. And this is what the reason why you get that is simply balance the books. Is if you get, say, 30 players and you sell them for, say what, 15 to 20 million pounds each, you're looking at over 200, 400 million pounds in profit based on players that you recruited from academy level, where you don't have to spend relatively low costs in regards to, a lot of them will come from a young age, a lot of them will develop and you go on and sell them. So that's a big profit margin compared to buying a player who maybe you want to develop and sell on, because you're not guaranteed if he's going to develop as well. You also don't want to be selling your best players as a club and image, right? So the best way to keep the fans happy and ultimately keep the club running and able to sustain the model that Roman Abramovich has as a owner who's able to, he's a billionaire, yes, that's correct. He's able to put a lot of money into the club, but due to financial fair play, he has to be able to balance the books. And what you see with clubs like Chelsea and Manchester City most recently is that they will buy the best players in the country, they'll buy the best young players in the world, they'll ultimately have big bolts of academy talent who, once they get to the age where they're able to loan out, play men's football, if these players do go on to produce good performances, ultimately the club will look to sell these players and recruit a lump sum, which enable them to also go back and say, look, this is the money that we've made from selling players, and ultimately go out and balance the book. So it's a win-win situation in regards to, you either get a young player, performs well, comes to the first team, does really well, hardly spending the money. You produce the top talent, doesn't really quite make it into your first team, but you can send him for a nice, decent amount of money to go on and balance your books. And some may say, oh, what's wrong with that? The club's trying to do what they need to do to balance their books. But what we can see over the turn of the year, and what we can see with a lot of discrepancies, especially with the likes of Chelsea in the last couple of seasons. I don't want to keep picking up Chelsea, but I think Chelsea's one of the most prominent clubs when it comes to England in regards to this format, in regards to the loan system and how it's going to affect them majorly, is that you now see that the loans, the players that are in these academies that are producing, because let's not forget, Chelsea are producing top quality players, some of the best players in the country. When these players start getting notarized, and as you can see with the social media platform, these players are being seen every day. These games are being watched more consistently. So the talent is more exposed. So when these talents are more exposed and these players become more known to the fact of what they're capable to do, they're not just going to want to sit in the academy system. They're going to ultimately go on and want to achieve their goals and dreams. And that's to be a professional footballer, play at the highest level, play against the best players, play against the best teams. So when you're stuck at a club like Chelsea, where you can see there's a consistent pattern of hiring and firing off managers and buying and selling of players, are you really going to see a pathway to the first team? And I think over a long period of time, it's worked with Chelsea, bringing in the young players, having the ethos of the young players, looking up to the first team of all the great players that they've bought, that have come and gone. But over time, that wow factor starts to wear off, and the true reality of football starts to play in. And I think that's what's happening with these young boys. And I think what FIFA has seen, especially with a lot of clubs hogging the talent around these clubs, because it ultimately what it does as well is that it affects the lower league teams, because what will happen is clubs will buy their best players at, say, 13, 14 years of age, when the club players have been there for like 8 years old. So say they have a Brighton boy who's been at Brighton. You see the other day, a young Brighton boy recently signed for Chelsea under 15. I forgot his name, England international centre half. So what happened with him? He was at Brighton for a very long time, done really well. Ultimately, he's got to the under 15s at Brighton, smashing it, best in his age group, playing scouted for England. Now what has happened? Chelsea has come in, bought and swooped him. So now what will happen with him? He'll have a hype, he'll have a certain expectation about him to go on and push and get into that Chelsea first team. But ultimately, who's not to say that this might just be another play for Chelsea to say, all right, we've got another one best player. We're going to develop him to a standard that's decent enough, good enough, loan him out and go and make some money off him. And there's plenty of players. I can go for a list of 20, 25 players who are good quality players who've been in the Chelsea academy system. Some would say had the good qualities of making it in, say, like some Premier League or any other club around the world. And Chelsea haven't specifically let them go straight away. They've loaned them out, made them produce them good performances, and then recruit the benefits of them good performances and recruit a large transfer fee. And this is ultimately just a strategy just to balance their books. And what I feel now with the financial fair play system and a lot of things that's going on, you've seen the Liga put in complaints about Mbappe and lots of transfers. And I think where we're going with this is we're trying to see just a bit more segregation and common sense in regards to the loan system and young players and young talents. Because what I'm seeing right now, there is a lot of young talent, and top clubs, European clubs, have seen that. They've analysed that, and they're hogging the benefits of it right now. They're getting the best players in, they're holding them in, and ultimately in the end, it might not to be the best detriment. And when you're a young player, 6, 7 years of age, even up to age 13, 14, 15, doesn't matter what age you are. If you got Chelsea, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid wanting you as a young player, it's your dream. It's your dream to ultimately go to that club, try it out, make it out, become a boyhood legend of that club. That's the whole reason why we come into football. But I think with these limitations now, we're going to see a more beneficial system in regards to a loan system. And in fact, with these young players, if a club doesn't want them, they can go. If a club um, feels that they need the loan sport to come in and produce to go into the team, maybe can use it a bit better. Because when I go into the second part, of this annihilation, you'll see the limit of the numbers of players that come into the loan clubs is bigger and forced and reduced to the players that count extremely as the cap becomes becomes 6 in 2 seasons from now. So in other words, the departures are more likely for beneficial other clubs expanding their talent across the market. So that's just the point that I was speaking on. We're hopefully going to see an expansion of the talent across the international stage of football. We won't just see young players hogged by top talents hoarded on at clubs. And sometimes this has been a detriment to a lot of these young players' talents. I've just seen recently the young boy that was at Celtic, Dembele. I remember he was 13 years old playing under 18s. Raven, great player, and this is not just to do with about the Hoggins. This is just example of what happens in an academy system. And in today's world, is a player gets hyped up on social media, expected to go on to do great things. The expectation is higher and greater than ever nowadays as a younger player. And when you can't crack and he hasn't quite grasped it and made it at a club like Chelsea, where they're forced to have to go and move on and further his career in, not say another established club, but maybe a club that not so much of thinking of in the club that he's went to in League Two in France. And I think that maybe might be a good step. And for me, my point, what I'm trying to get is these young players, they don't just have to be at top clubs to develop and get their talent. They don't have to be at the best clubs in the world ultimately to get to the best club in the world, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is you don't have to be at Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid from 8, 9, 10 years old all the way up to 21 years old, make it into that first thing. Yes, it's a good dream. Yes, it's a good aspiration to have. But ultimately, what young players need to think about is their pathway. It's all about the pathway. Can you see yourself getting into that first thing? Can you understand the mechanism of the club, the ownership of how the club works going forward? Because these things are majorly and vital in a very, very elite variant that we live in, where the quality of football is going up every year. The quality of players is going up every year. It's all about details. It's all about details now. So I think with this loan system, it's going to give young players a better chance of actually setting them steps and setting that pathway for them going forward. And what are the loopholes in regards to this loan system? Some may ask. Well, the new cap only applies to players under the age of 21. So, like I was speaking about, so we can see based on that loophole, this is just a main focus on young players and to stop the top clubs in and around Europe exploiting and hogging that talent and not allowing these young players to actually go on and actually exceed their talent at maybe lesser, not so rich clubs, but clubs that can equally divide in the same development journey that a lot of these clubs will offer them, and give them that chance of playing it and not just being exploited just for money and all the gain. I think it's about fairness now. I think the money game of football is getting a bit too ridiculous, and I think it's important that we add these rules in place to ultimately add the fairness of the game. And how this is also going to be majorly important in regards to the age aspect of things. If what a lot of you guys don't know is that the P2 has now changed from an under 23 league to an under 21. I think that's the first time it's been done in 6 years. So we're now resorting back to a situation now where players can't hold on to players at top clubs to the age of 21, 23 just to suit their academy system. Yes, they might be professionals. Yes, they might be playing, but ultimately players want to be playing at the highest level for whatever club they can play on their professional career. So I think with the league now changing with under 21 league now only, I think a lot of players' fates are going to get this sold, because let's be realistic. If you're 23 years of age, still playing in the academies of a top European club in the world, you've got to face the facts and understand, I understand what is your position. No one wants to say that you're not going to make it into the first team, but be realistic with yourself. As a 23-year-old, are you able to make that position? Most of the time, there is a player probably one in that when you're 22 years of age. There's either a player 2 years younger than you or 2 years older than you in that position. So think about it like that. So in football, that's not too much to not too much to gauge on in terms of development. That could also be a stamp of how people see you in your future development as a club. So what I mean by that, if you're age 22 and you're stuck in an academy at a top club in the Premier League, then you need to start thinking about your pathway of getting through and doing what you want to do and achieve. Because at the end of the day, it's not to say that you can't leave a club like Chelsea or Manchester United or Man City at the age of 22, go to a low league club, prove, work hard, and show your ability. Come back and earn your living as a true professional footballer and go and achieve your dreams. And if it's meant to be that you're supposed to go to your boyhood club and be a hero, then it will be happen. If not, then so be it. And this is what young players, I think a lot of young players will start to realize going on into the future of the game. So as you can see there, guys, it's a little in-depth bit of the loan system going forward. And yes, Yasin, you're my boy. Yasin, I see a comment there. Yes, my boy, I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well as well, man. Just quickly jumping in here and just giving you quite a quick loan system. Sorry about yesterday as well, guys. Just a bit of a migraine issue, but I'll be here giving you guys more content. Interviews coming soon. We'll be going around youth, grassroots level, academy level, giving you guys the in-depth scoop, giving you guys up-to-date knowledge and just giving you guys insight of the game, man. We're just here to educate the next generation of coaches, next generation of ballers, whatever you guys want to be in the game of football. The next generation is the show here where we can just give you the more in-depth information. Yes, we'll go dive into the high P transfer stuff, but as the season starts, like I said, if I'm talking about transfers all day, I won't have nothing to talk about. So I'm here to give you guys the juicy in-depth graphic and educate you guys about the modern day aspects of football. So yeah, man, dive into it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. So now, yes, we'll dive into that. Go into loan side of things. And if you guys want to know about the loan system, let me guys know. We'll dive straight into it. So now we're just gonna flick through. We're gonna flick through what we got here. So we're just gonna delve into some chats or stories, a bit of stories that we got over the week, and then I want you guys to comment and let us know your thoughts on them. Also, so where do we start? So we're going to go through all the stories that I like during the week. If there's any that you guys like, let me know. Don't forget to join us on Twitter. Hit us up there. Don't forget to at us. If there's any chance for information that you want us to know, the in-depth scoop, then we go from there. So we spoke about loans. So it's Monday today. So Monday, we got all the stories that coming in. I'm going to go based on last week, and then we're going to try and smash jam it all into one. I'm going to quickly go through it. So we had the update from Rafinha. Rafinha looks like he's adamant on going to Barcelona. We have the lit hair who looked like he was going to go to Chelsea, but now he's rumored to go to Bayern Munich. What do you think about Pogba's comeback to Juventus? We're supposed to get we'll go into that in a sec. Ake looks like he's going to be going back to his club Chelsea. A guy like Joe Aribo, there my boy Calvin Bassey, smashed it last season with Rangers, unlucky not to win the Europa League. He is securing his move to Southampton. Very happy for him. Hopefully Calvin can sell a big deal too, my boy. Yes, I'm rooting for you. Ronaldo issues, is he coming to train? Is he not? Is he staying? Is he going? Rumors that Roman are in for Zaha, interesting one for him. Always rumored to go. Think he does need to go to a big club to see his dreams. Another one here is United fan. We've got Nikita Paris, good player. I've always been an idol fan. The reason why I even dove into the bit of the women's game as well. Don't forget, guys, as well, we've got the women Euros as well. And they're here all over the place. Don't forget to go on the Euros website. Very cheap tickets as well. Go out there, take the game. The women's game is evolving, and the reason what I will do as well, bits and parts over the course of the season, we'll be diving into little elements of the game. And the reason why is simply the fact that my daughter loves football. She's 1 year old. She's kicking a ball every time football games on. She loves watching the match and sit there and she watches it. So for a 1 year old, it's actually crazy that my daughter, she doesn't even bounce it. Like, she goes up to a ball and she kicks it. Whenever the football's on, she sits there and she watches it. And we had the game on the other day, Euros game, and she was just loving it. So it's amazing. So yeah, the women's football is developing every game. I hope I'll be an ambassador for it also moving forward. Yeah, so What else have you got here? Yeah, Raheem Sterling completing his move to Chelsea. Good move for Raheem coming back home. Wait. Gone a bit too far here. Gone a bit too far. Okay. Oh yeah. So we even compared to Pogba. So Pogba's moved to Juventus. This one's a banter one for me. Like the guy, you also is. Oh, I didn't watch it anyway. I just heard about it. I don't want to watch this guy's stupid documentary. But I heard this guy's documentary crying that Man United never offered him more than he wanted. He was offered £350,000 a week. He rejected it, thinking he was gonna be the big I am. Yeah, I missed a free transfer. I'm going to be able to do what I want. My boy's following me. Let me follow him back. Yeah, follow back to Amresa. Don't forget to guys follow us on Twitter. Yeah, that my man left Man United thinking, yeah, I'm going to get the big contract. Juventus said, my guy, it's not that time. We don't have that money. No one's got that money. No one's offering you that. You have to take half of what they're giving you, or yeah, you ain't got nowhere to go. He had no choice. He took half of what he got in. Banter. He got offered 18 million at Man United. Now he went back to Juventus with 40 million. Now he's gone back to 8 million. Shame on you, Pogba, man. And this is what I thought to a lot of young players moving forward. Don't let the money chase you. Don't chase the money. Let the money chase you, man. Especially when it comes to football. Because you see, when you start chasing that money in football, your career starts going the upward way. So it looks like Antonio Conte wants to get rid of Rudiger and Harry Winks. Interesting one there. Rumours that Aston Villa has found a replacement for Dean, left back, Szukalski. And this one was an interesting one for me. Some say, why is this the team that's finally going to win Manchester City, the Champions League? And a lot of people were saying, no, there's no Yaya. And that was funny for me because you see everyone's talking about Yaya putting a curse on Pep Guardiola, and it's interesting. Can Haaland be the final piece to the jigsaw puzzle in regards to Man City winning the Champions League? We'll see. So let's move on. We've got Barcelona, economic rumours. We've got Darwin issues over there. Are they going to get Rafinha? Are they going to sign Dembele on a new contract? Are they going to get Lewandowski? We're going to move on today because reports have come out today that there might be an update in regards to that situation. We have Lucas Tomori, who's going to be signing an extension at Aston Villa. Top player for me. I think that he will be one of the best Premier League defenders in the future when he decides to come back. I don't know why Chelsea let him go. And this is part of the loan system and making money from the youth academy, what I was talking about. There's an amazing talent score, but yes, these young boys, if the clubs are not playing, go and prove your worth. Let them know that it was wrong. Come back. We have another one here. Nico Williams is going to be signing for Nottingham Forest. That's a good move for him. And we had also some talk today, rounding up today in the last couple of hours. We have Jurgen Klopp talking. We all know that Liverpool are not strengthening in that midfield. Are they going to get a midfielder to challenge Manchester City this season? There's been rumours that Jude Bellingham is going to be going to Liverpool. Is he going to be that surprise package? We still have got another 6 weeks or so until the transfer window is over. Some say with the signings that Manchester City have done so far, they've been the best and most proactive in the English market. So Liverpool are behind. They've lost Mane. They've got in Darwin Núñez. Is he really the guy? Me personally, I don't think he's the guy. They need someone like Jude Bellingham in that midfield. Their midfield's getting a bit old. Feels getting a bit raggedy-daggedy. Jude Bellingham's supposed to be that guy. To be honest, I think he's that guy. But I don't want him to go Liverpool. But rumours that he's going Liverpool. You don't know. Jurgen Klopp says you don't know if there's something will happen in the field. But you will never know. If something pops up and I want to go, it might happen. So we'll see. Obviously, the transfer window is still early. Sorry about the shaking and all of that, guys. I apologize. I was supposed to be using it this side. The stability is just so mad. It's just crazy. So Pereira finally on his way to Fulham. One be rumored. And another young talent, Brentford has signed Kane Lewis-Porter from Hull. Had an amazing last season in the Championship. Bagged in hella goals. He's doing a mad thing. Smashes it well for the under-21. Good to have him in the Premier League. And another few ones here. Look, it looks like the Rafinha deal may be imminent to Barcelona. Have Leeds finally succumbed to Rafinha's request and accepted Barcelona's offer? And it also looks like Bayern Munich are ready to let go Lewandowski for 50 million euros. So we'll see, guys. Let us know about all the latest transfer information. Let us know what you guys want us to search upon, and we'll give you guys the interesting stories in regards to what we want to see. So that's it for us, guys. We talked about the loan system. Let us what you know think about the loans. Let us know what you think going forward. We've got new content on that coming through you. Sorry again about last night. Migraine killing me, but we're back going again. I hope you guys doing well. Have a good week. Don't forget as well, follow us on Twitter. One sec. I even put up I'm going to give you guys a sec. I'm going to put my Twitter up on here so you guys can actually see it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry about the shaking, guys. Give me a second. Alright, coolio. Alright, my people. Just before we leave, I'm gonna give you guys, just so you guys can see, orange shirt. Boom. So there we go. Yeah. That's us. Don't forget, guys, follow us on Twitter. Yeah, _ next gen baller. We're there. Get involved in the spaces. I want to hear you guys. Follow me. Share me in spaces. I want to hear your knowledge on football. I want to spread my knowledge. I want to hear you guys. Don't forget to follow us. Put that notification on your bell. So when we're active, you are active. Have a good week, people. Positive mind. Let's go. Do what you got to do. Yeah, man. Bless it. Love you guys. Peace out.